PD Chopper. Come on.
No, I still have.
You need help?
No, we're good.
You got her?
Yeah, she's good. What we got? What we got?
Is her?
Oh, such a fat fish.
Dude, look how fat that
Look
thing
at that
is.
thing. Oh my god.
Yeah. Blitz Magnum EXDR.
Blitz Magnum EXDR on my new favorite rod, the Super 711.
Dude.
Sick.
Nice. Let's go.
Sick. Hi, Jeff.
Let's get some more.
Hell yeah.
Alright guys, so this morning we're fishing up here in the river section of one of our favorite lakes. As you guys can see, there's a lot of boat traffic because the bite's been pretty good up here lately, but kind of what's going on up here is a lot of the fish up here are kind of in that post-spawn, and so they're just really putting the feed bag back on, and luckily there's a shit ton of shad up here for these fish to feed on. And so basically what me and Ethan today are doing is just we're running reactions. So I've been catching them really good on the swim jig. There's a bug on the lens. Can you get off of there? Ethan's throwing his favorite lure, which is a deep diving crankbait. I've got a swim jig tied on. We have a couple other things on deck today, and we're just gonna see if we can't catch some bass. I mean, that's kind of been the game plan. We got Ethan up there. You guys can barely maybe see him.
What's up?
That's him. That's Ethan. Swim jig is his number one thing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Big deep diving crankbait. So we'll see what happens today. Break bottom with the crankbait. I don't know if that was bass or not either.
I think that was more of a jump than a gulp.
And I felt like the swim jig, at least fish on the bottom. And I thought these fish were, and sure as shit they were. They're active, so why are they not biting us? Shit. Just too deep, you think? Spinnerbait?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe an A-rig?
No, I thought we could do a cotton one.
This is where the 11-pounders live, huh?
At least one of them.
Oh, what the fuck?
No way.
That's big one? Giant?
Dude, you knock slack on my mind, dude. It's a nice one, I think. Oh my gosh, that was disgusting, Ethan. It's a nice fish.
Yeah?
I
You
think.
mean that?
Well,
Nothing else?
I don't know. It's a nice fish. It's a nice fish. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Dude, oh, look at that thing. Dude, oh my god. Dude, that thing smashed it, Ethan. Alright, my first one. Nice fish right there. That PD Chopper. Yeah, boy. Oh man, nice fat one. Lord. Probably like a 7-pounder or something. Short, healthy fish. You gotta love it, baby. You gotta love it. Alright, nice fish. See you later. What do they want? There's just so much bait, it's hard for them to even find our shit. Never mind. Nice one?
Decent.
Look how fat that one is.
Sick.
Yeah.
Get this line out of my mouth. These little fat fish, guys.
Look how fat that thing is.
So sick. Let's let him go.
So what are we doing today, Mr. Ethan?
Well, guys, Ethan from the Hookup Tackle. I'm out here with my good buddy Geoff.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's been a while since we fished together.
It's been a while.
Pretty cool, dude.
But we always get good videos
Yeah,
together.
we do. We are out here today on one of our little ponds here. Just fishing around some reaction stuff on some of our favorite rods out of the P5 lineup. Today I'm fishing with the BMG. This was actually designed as a bottom contact rod, but you'll see me today. I'm throwing a swim jig on this guy. This is the Uoze swimmer with the spark shad on the back. Also love the slipper jig. You'll see me throwing that around today. And what is it? What's the new one that we're throwing?
PD Chopper.
The PD Chopper, right? You're throwing that guy around. Super sick. So hopefully you guys can just watch us today. Go around, catch a few fish. Hopefully a couple big ones. This place is known for some for some big fish. But let's get after it.
We don't have a big fucking bait, of course. You
Oh my god, he's underneath it.
Is it?
Okay.
You got him! You got him!
Look at that. Yeah. Yeah.
Where?
I have one hook on him.
Oh, no, no. Hey, what just happened, dude?
That was nuts.
Dude, look at that bitch. Oh my god, dude. You need some help? You got it?
$8.04.
On top water. Oh my god, dude. $8.05.
Oh, it won't work. You got it, whatever.
Wow. Yeah.
Sick. Probably one of the coolest catches I'll ever have. All right, that was intense. Okay, so Geoff and I, we were just working on the other side of the bank, and we came over to the shady side here. And we're running our swim jigs along the bank, and lo and behold, there is a fish trying to eat a bluegill on the surface. What better bait to do that with? The shower blow. I'd already had it tied on earlier because there was some fish blowing up, but we noticed that fish was trying to eat that bluegill. So I threw over near the bluegill trying to see if I could get the fish to eat this. I snagged the bluegill on accident, right? So now I'm working the bluegill into the boat, and the fish is sitting right behind it and ate the shower blow off of the bluegill and took off with it. That fish was caught on the 110 special. Probably one of the coolest fish catches I'll ever have in my entire life. I'm so glad you guys were able to watch it with me. Geoff,
Dude.
thanks for netting my fish,
Bro,
dude.
what is going on?
That was sick.
Green pumpkin and white sinker. It was February in a tournament. It was a brutal tournament. I'll never forget that fish. It changed my life.
Senko fish.
Far more than any sunbait. Oh my god. Did he almost stop and go? Got him?
Yep. Maybe, I don't know.
What happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Yep, he's on.
You're alright. Can you stand up here? Keep on. Whoa. Another one, baby.
Just a little guy on the Magnum EXDR.
Second one today on it.
Second win today on it, dude.
Just a little guy, but pretty.
First one was a lot better than this
It was
one.
way better than
But
that one.
still eating it, which
Yeah.
is super sick. Heck yeah.
Alright.
Let's get a release on this guy.
See you
Dart
later.
one.
Dart, dude. Here.
I don't want to bet him. I want to see my hook set.
That's a nice one.
Net? Net?
No.
Got him?
It's a giant,
Is it?
actually. I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
Got him? You got him?
It's a fucking giant, dude.
You got him? Oh my god. That's a giant. You got some help up there, guys? Jesus.
Okay, I just caught a giant. Probably a 9-pounder on the PD Chopper. Spark Shad combination. Holy shit. That's a big one. That was disgusting.
Dude,
Right there.
that's sick.
Nice fish right there. Absolute stud on that PD Chopper. Let's get a weight on this fish. Okay, 8 pounds, 7 ounces.
Man, this camera stuff's kind of cool.
8 pounds, 7 ounces. Super dope. All right, let's get this girl out of here.
That was disgusting.
All right, guys, that was a really fun morning that we had. We fished for about 6 hours today from basically sun up to about 12 o'clock. And we ended up catching 6 fish, 2 big ones,
2 big ones?
2 giant ones.
Yeah.
a couple of other decent sized fish, and then some small guys. But just a nice mixed bag of fish overall. But what we came out basically to do in this video was basically show you guys our approach to post-spawn, early spring, mid-spring bass fishing, and that can be a wide variety of different techniques. Today we caught them on a deep diving crankbait, we caught them on a swim jig, you even caught one on a shower blows.
That was a wild one.
So it kind of just goes to show that this is probably at least my favorite time of the year, really, because you could just throw whatever you want and they kind of just bite it. A lot of reaction, but you could throw bottom contact as well. But it seems like this time of year, after those fish are done spawning, they're looking to feed again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? They're putting the feed back on because they lost a lot of weight during the spawn. And so on this particular body of water, the threadfin population is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Not just threadfin, but they also have bluegill, they have tilapia to feed on. And so once those fish are done spawning, it's go time. And so we found, like, okay, we know that they can be anywhere from 5 feet of water all the way down to 25 feet of water. And so we kind of picked our lures depending on where we were fishing, maybe the structure that we were fishing as well, and kind of just went accordingly. Obviously, if you guys haven't known or seen, I've been throwing the swim jig super, super heavy lately. So I kind of just went with the swim jig. I mean, I can fish it shallow, I can fish it deep, I can fish it slow, I can fish it fast, and that just works for me. Ethan, your favorite lure of all time?
The Blitz Magnum.
Deep diving crankbait.
Yeah.
This guy absolutely loves throwing a deep diving crankbait. And so he threw that around. You caught a couple fish on that, but you also even threw a swim jig as well.
Yeah, I had,
right?
had to learn from you a little bit.
Just a little bit. And so this is honestly just one of those perfect times of the year where if you're looking just to maybe try a reaction bait, right? If you've never thrown, I don't know, a deep diving crankbait or a swim jig or something like that, this is honestly the perfect time of year to try it out, to gain some type of confidence and understand when you should pick it up in your own arsenal. All right, so we're gonna break down the lures that we're fishing with today. I'll go first because I was just one trick pony, right?
One trick.
Only reason why we even came out here is because I was telling you I was on a really good swim jig bite.
Yep.
Now, the swim jig in question, this is the Zappu PD Chopper, made by a guy named Hata Takuma, which you guys have seen on this channel before. Good friend of mine. He designed the swim jig many, many years ago. It has a very unique shaped head, which allows this thing, when you fish it like a swim jig, it has a tremendous body roll. But if you also wanted to fish it like a normal jig, if you had it like this, it gives rock. If there's some type of current or wind or anything like that, it'll rock. So if you have like a craw trailer on there, it'll have movement without you even doing anything with it. And so very, very unique swim jig head. I've basically fallen in love with it. I've been using it now for a few weeks and I've had just incredible success with it. Now, the first fish that I caught today was, I just had a 5.8 Fat Impact by Keitech on the back of it. I love the Keitech just because on a slow retrieve, you'll still have that amazing kicking action that the Keitechs are known for. And I just wanted something that had a little bit larger profile to hopefully give those fish a larger profile and meal to maybe weed out some of those smaller fish. And so went with the Keitech 5.8. Now, that first fish that I caught, I had it rigged kind of a special way. This is actually the Hata Takuma special rig. And you have basically the swim bait, whatever one you choose, but you also have the Zappu twin blades on basically the shank of the hook. And the twin blade just adds a little bit of flash, maybe a little bit of commotion to that swim jig. But I also have what's called a bone rattle on the side there. And basically, if you listen, it gives off a very slight little rattle noise. And so basically you have a lot of things going on with this swim jig. You can obviously just have it bare bones, but adding the twin blade as well as adding that little bone rattle, it'll just give you a little extra, maybe help in converting those fish to maybe follow it, to see it. We're fishing pretty murky water and we're fishing deep, so it's dark, dirty water. And so adding a little bit of flash and a little bit of sound,
think could also help in getting some bites. Now that second fish that I had, I was actually just using a Spark Shad 5-inch. This was the original trailer that I was using for that PD Chopper when I caught a lot of big fish. So I went back to it today in the second half just because I maybe wanted to downsize a little bit, and it worked just as well. I mean, it caught an 8-pounder. So that's basically the lure. I mean, the PD Chopper's been so good to me. I mean, there's some quals with it, like it snags wood like crazy, but if you rig it the weedless option, then it's absolutely no problem. These PD Choppers, they actually come with a little spring on the front to where you can actually screw your swim bait on and basically Texpose it, and you can fish it around wood, around grass a lot easier. And so Zappu PD Chopper, I can't recommend it enough. It's been absolutely killer. The setup that I was using for it was the Megabass. This is one of the newer model rods. This is the Monstrous. It's actually a Japanese model rod. And the best way I describe this rod is it's basically a slightly bit faster version of the Mark 56, which everybody kind of knows about the Mark 56 now. The Mark 56 is a perfect like 1 to 2 ounce like hard bait rod. This is that perfect 1 to 2 ounce rod for maybe like a 6-inch mag draft or a full-size swim jig, something that has like that one single hook that you really need a little added backbone. This is the rod to choose for that. 7'5", so it's really similar to that Mark 56, and it does a fantastic job on setting the hook. Now the reel, just a Shimano Bantam A. I've got an upgraded varial handle on there, and I was using 20-pound fluorocarbon, I think Sunline Shooter. So that's the setup. Works great. I've had a lot of success on this setup, and so can't go wrong with the swim jig this time of year. Ethan.
Yes, sir.
What were you throwing today? Talk to them.
So started off with one of my
Yes,
favorite
sir.
baits of all time. Everybody knows that I love to deep crank.
I mean, you probably have millions of those
yeah,
in your house and a million of them in the lake.
I
as
have
well.
a lot. Yeah, you're not wrong. In the lake as well. But this is one of those baits for me that, I mean, dude, I throw it year round.
Yep.
But especially this time of year, where, like you said, those fish are out feeding. They're trying to fill back up, right? This is one of those baits that I can kind of just cover some water with.
Yeah.
In that
Yep.
deeper range. It's, you know, it's a fun bait in that deep range of 20 to 25. But as today, I mean, and always, I throw this bait in
Shallow water.
10, 15
Yeah.
feet, right?
Yep.
So it's not just a deep crank. This is something that you can throw in a little bit less water and still catch them with.
Yeah, and it deflects super well.
It deflects
actually.
amazing.
Like when he's fishing that 10 to 15, he's still deflecting off of those shallow rocks until he gets down into that 20 plus. But today, I think the first fish you caught was in that 20 plus.
Yeah, I do believe it
right?
was. Yeah, I
you
think
were
it was,
bumping down there.
Yeah.
But that second fish you caught on that was much shallower. I think.
maybe 15
12
feet.
foot. Yeah, something like that. And so, don't be thinking like, oh well, if it's a Blitz Magnum EXR, I can only fish it in 20, 25. You can definitely fish it in a lot shallower water. You're gonna give those fish a much bigger profile. You might need to slow down once you get up to like some really chunk gnarly rock. But it's quite impressive how that thing deflects, and it's a fantastic crankbait. I know a lot of guys that have used that have caught a lot of big fish.
Yep.
What's the setup you were using?
So this is actually kind of a newer rod to me.
Yep.
I was always a big launcher guy, but now that
And she's gone.
we can't have them anymore, right?
She's gone.
So I had to come up with something new, and to me, this guy right here, the
Yep.
Super 711, this rod to me has kind of been my filler for that. This thing launches it.
Yeah, it just
I mean, it
throws
just
it
flies
amazing.
like crazy.
Yep.
The sensitivity from the P5 is unreal.
It's
Everything,
light as well.
every rock I feel down there,
Yep.
right, just flies. And like you said, it is super light.
Yeah,
right?
it's a 711,
Yeah.
right? And it's rated up to about 2 ounces, and that's basically what that Blitz Magnum EXR is on. Now, I've even experienced the Super 711, and I've gone down to a deep 6 on it.
Yeah.
And it throws a deep 6 just as fine, but I feel like that sweet spot is that Blitz Magnum EXR.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Big
throws
M.
it perfect.
Yeah.
Like, that is the new rod that everybody from the shop is talking about. Unfortunate, the launcher's gone, but we're happy to have a replacement rod, and And the P5 too.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
Killer.
Who doesn't love the P5? All right, guys. Reel for me is going to be the Steez A. This is kind of just my go-to
Workhorse.
all-around reel, right?
Yep.
And I feel like people say that you need a 200, a 300, even a 300 size reel for deep cranking. This reel right here fits amazing on this rod, right?
Yep.
It's so compact, it keeps it light, and I still have the line capacity.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
for me, 14 is what I was using today, but I feel like 12 to me is the sweet spot.
It's a sweet spot.
We're
really.
fishing just a little bit snaggier, sharper rock today, so I wanted to bump it up to the 14.
Yep.
Kind of minimize the break-offs and the losing of fish. And
You still got it down to depth.
Yeah,
right?
still down to that 25-ish range.
Yeah.
And it did great today.
It's just, there's nothing more you can say about
Yeah,
it.
it's just amazing.
I love that setup, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's sweet.
Yeah.
And then you also picked up the swim jig for a little. You caught a bass on the swim jig as well.
I did. I wasn't as successful as you.
No. I'm just a god.
You are a god
You
with
can't
the
touch
swim
me
jig.
with that.
Yeah. You started as a swim bait guy, but you're now a swim jig guy.
jig.
Yeah.
Not swim bait, swim jig.
It's anything that swims, right?
Anything that swims is basically what I'm
Just
using.
a god.
But you
so
were throwing a different swim jig.
I was
Kind of the classic for us.
Wanted to be a little bit different, right? You're throwing it. You also had to make some modifications to that thing, and
Yep.
I just didn't feel like
I
making
know.
those
You
modifications.
don't have to.
So for me, the go-to obvious choice was the Uoze swimmer. This thing is just awesome.
Yeah.
I love it,
Yeah.
right? And I think that with this dirtier water, I just needed a blade, right?
Yeah.
You had to add
I
yours.
had that twin blade on mine. I
Yep.
think you saw that and said, "Oh, that looks actually really
did.
sick." And so the Uoze already comes with the blade. It's almost like an underspin swim jig,
Yep.
and it comes in a wide variety of different sizes. I think you were throwing the 5/8.
I think it was the 5/8 today.
Yeah, we're fishing that 20+ feet of water and having that heavier jig. Mine was a 1/2 ounce 5/8, just slightly bit heavier, but kind of the same deal. You just able to get it down to the bottom and keep that bottom contact to get those bites.
Yeah.
Though your fish came a little bit shallower.
It was a little bit shallower.
So
yep.
just like with that Blitz Magnum XGR, just because we're throwing a slightly bit heavier swim jig doesn't mean you can only fish it in
Yep.
20, 25, 30. You were able to still throw it up there, and with that heavier head, I feel like you're able to fish it a bit faster, especially if you're fishing around some of those trees that we were today.
Absolutely.
And again, the trailer, man.
Yep.
The
trailer.
old Spark
The
Shad.
go-to Spark Shad. This to me is just kind of it's a go-to.
It's so good.
Call me a copycat, but I mean, I might have seen you catch a couple fish on it in some previous
maybe.
videos. so I knew it was working. I know they were eating it. It sticks together really well.
Yeah.
Right? It's not
Yep.
a trailer that's gonna tear all the time.
No.
So that is super nice, not having to be able to go through a bunch of trailers.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Spark Shad, Uoze, you just can't go wrong with
Yeah.
it. And then the most outlier of the catches,
Yeah, that was a little wild.
just so dumb. On the shower blows.
That was a little wild. So we were up on that thing or whatever on
Yep.
that bluff wall.
Like we said, I mean,
Yeah.
random. Just that 8-pounder trying to eat this gill.
Yep.
Ethan throws his shower blows on it, kind of snags the gill. The fish sees both things and says, "I'm gonna eat the shower blows first," and just comes up and just smokes the shower
Swallows
blows. Just dumb.
Yeah.
So
It was awesome.
I mean, it wasn't like an actual shower blows eat, but it still ate it. So
cool.
keep that in mind. Sometimes it is good to have a topwater on deck,
Yep.
even though they're not really technically eating topwater. You never know when that one opportunity is going to
Yeah.
show up this time of year. So other than that, if you guys have questions on what we're doing today, just leave a comment down below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching from everybody here at the Hook Up Tackle. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.
Peace.